We do want to begin with the latest out of Texas. Entire communities left reeling in the wake of deadly historic flooding. And now that danger is not over just yet. Those same communities, they face a renewed threat, the possibility of more rain that could lead to some flooding tonight. Fox Weather Meteorologist Haley Meier, she's live on the ground in Center Point, Texas, one of the hard-hit areas, Kerr County, where we're still looking at a lot of effort needing to be put forward in terms of the recovery efforts.
Yeah, Kiana, it really is a somber moment to be standing right next to the Guadalupe River when we know just 4.5 days ago, floodwaters would have been 20 feet above my head, taking over this entire canyon. This was a place that so many people that came here, they cherished it. It was what they looked forward to most out of the entire year. We know that there were at least 20 girls from Camp Mystic, a local youth camp right down the road, the oldest in this area, one of them at least. Some of the locals here were saying that girls had to fight on wait lists to be able to go to Camp Mystic, and then to see what happened in the aftermath early on the 4th of July. At this point, Governor Greg Abbott, he has still been updating folks on the latest situation. He took a helicopter tour of the region not too long ago. We are now at confirmed 109 still that are dead, but we are looking at close to 161 that are still missing. That number has been astronomical, and I think when we first saw the early onset of the floods, we had hoped, like everybody does, no fatalities, and then you hear that number and how drastically it climbs. So search and rescue still a big deal here. There were search and rescue crews that came out to this RV park called the Guadalupe Keys Resort here in Kerr County. We're in Center Point right now, and they said that thankfully there was nobody found immediately at this one location, but in the surrounding areas they did find a few folks. What's so crazy to me though is over the course of the day, this entire place was stuffed with people just working as hard as they can to bring this place to as close to normal as possible. And they've made a ton of headway. But unfortunately, with removing some of the trees, you can see even more of the debris that's sort of strewn about, even revealing more of that catastrophic damage that we've been talking about each and every day since this all unfolded. Now, one thing about all of the tree damage here, it's really the thing that sticks out the most when you put your boots on the ground. And the owner of this business, she had said something about how remarkable those trees were and why they purchased this property to begin with. Take a listen to what she had to say.
We had the most beautiful trees. That was what brought us to buy the property. It was so beautiful with the grass and the ground covers and all the trees. And that's why we could accommodate so many campers and RVs, was because it was so beautifully shaded.
And as a native Texan, I can attest to that. The beauty of floating down the Guadalupe River is because you have all of that shade and that coverage, and you can float through the beautiful foliage. While that may not be the case over the next few years as they still rebuild, folks are determined to come back here as soon as they possibly can to enjoy everything that the Texas Hill Country has to offer.
And for a long road to recovery, one thing I will say is that Texas is Texas strong. We've seen a lot of resilience coming in from the communities there across South Central Texas. Fox Weather Meteorologist Haley Meier, thanks again for the update.